Good morning, good afternoon. How are you, everyone?
Alhamdulillah, Doctor. How are you?
Alhamdulillah, thank God. So, uh, of course, we will wait a couple of minutes until everyone join us. Uh, Hello, Ahmad, Judiline, and Yasser. How are you?
Alhamdulillah,
Today's
everything
class,
is fine.
today's class will not be long. And
Hi, good morning.
hi. How is the weather at your end? Because today I'm a little bit under the weather, and we have here uh, some
Hello,
dreadful
Professor.
dark weather.
Here is -9 here in our side in British Columbia.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
-9. No,
yeah.
today I don't think that we are that low. I'm in southern Ontario, so we are not that cold. I think we will wait until Muhammad Yusuf join to know what's happening in Alberta. It's very
Just to tell you
interesting.
that is we are 25 degree, so
Oh,
also not cold. just
so
just to compare, just to compare or to have some of
yeah,
the comparison between what we have. Still
yes,
25 in Saudi Arabia. Yes,
yes, yes, and I think it's around this also in Egypt, and
yes, same. Yes, but same little bit in Egypt. I think it's a little bit less now, maybe around 2018, something like that.
okay, okay, yeah, 20. I can live with 20. Actually, I love 20. Hello,
And there is
Martin.
Hi,
some people
Professor.
said that they are from the people of summer people. They're natural. It is matching with the summer, and some people still matching with the winter. But of
Yeah,
course, the warm weather for us, it is when it's coming to 15 or 11, we feel that is we are
it's
in
cold.
something
Yeah,
like
it's cold. Yeah. And I think also the weather affects the mood. So those countries with the sunny skies and warm weather, I don't know. There are so many statistics say that they don't get into depression that easily like other countries. So
And one of the things also, doctor, the homesickness for the people who will new transfer to some place like Canada,
yeah, yeah,
they are facing a
yeah.
lot of homesickness problem. And I have one of my kids. He accepted by company by university called Prince Edward University in Canada,
Yes,
and he
yes,
already accepted there from 3 years back
yeah.
to study there. But at the end, he said, "No, I will not go there." And by chance, by luck, we know that is they already opened a campus in Cairo. So I said, "Look,
Okay.
Dad,
That's
I will not go there. Whatever
yeah,
you told me, I will not go to Canada. I cannot live in this weather. Cannot live this in these things. No, no, I will stay in Egypt. Stay with this warm weather, and I cannot go there. So it is okay.
yeah,
It is a
yeah,
decision based on this one. Yes, for the
yeah,
homesickness. Yeah.
yeah. Okay, so welcome everyone. As I was saying, today's class is not will not be that long, and I think we will finish in 2 hours or less. Okay, so good news, yeah. And the reason for this, we will focus on how we develop the schedule, how do we create the schedule, and I want to remind you again, we are talking about predictive project management methodologies, not adaptive. In adaptive environments, like in software, it's a totally different approach to planning and to estimate task durations. I will talk about this when I am explaining. So it depends on the industry. Some of you will see that what we are saying is so relative, relevant, is so relevant to their industry. For example, construction. Some of you will think, okay, in my field, we don't do this way. So I will try to talk about some of the differences between the two approaches. And in real life, you might find that your company or your organization adapt a hybrid approach, mixing some predictive and some adaptive elements. Okay. Um, so usually in predictive approaches, uh, you will have someone who is specialized in creating the schedule, a planner or a scheduler, or some project coordinator who will work on um, uh, developing the tasks and estimating the tasks and everything like this. So people are joining. So
Oh, Professor, our
yes,
Microsoft team is okay. Can you not shift on our Microsoft team? Next
no,
for next, even not now.
no. It's
Oh,
my
okay.
preferred way. Actually, the teams. Um, we still have some people who still struggle with their accounts. I'm one of these people. So we will continue
Oh,
with
I
Google
understand
Team.
because that's what happened also to me.
Yeah, yeah. And the benefit of having Google Teams, Meet, is that you can join using any email. So there are no restrictions about the email that you can use. And for me,
Oh,
it's a
I don't
benefit.
know that.
Yeah. Excuse me?
I don't know that you can join in email without
Yeah,
need
no,
to
you
use
can.
Mhm.
Yeah, you can. You can. I'm not using the university email. I'm using a Google, one of my Google emails. Yeah. So we will continue using Meet. Okay. So we covered all these parts, one, two, three, um, four, five, and we are here at six, project networks. And as I was saying, for those who joined us a little bit late, you will see that we are focusing on predictive approaches like waterfall, like Prince, the PMI methodology. So, and we are not focusing that much on adaptive approaches. In predictive approaches, we have to do all the planning before we start the execution. In adaptive approaches, we don't have all the requirements up front. So we can start with a framework, but we cannot start with a thorough planning phase because we don't know everything that we need um, to have a well-defined schedule, a well-defined plan to execute. So I also said last time, having a very good work breakdown structure is essential because you will create so many things in your project management plan based on the work breakdown structure. And you cannot create a solid, good, thorough work breakdown structure until you have all the requirements. You solicited and you collected all the the requirements. And you cannot have all the requirements unless you do a thorough stakeholder analysis. So you understand all your stakeholders, everyone who can impact your project, and we will be impacted by your project. And you ask their feedback or their input, their requirements, their needs, their desires. Um, Based on this, you can create the scope. Based on the scope, you can create the work breakdown structure. So we will talk about,
Professor, yes,
yes,
while I'm making the WBS for our project,
yes,
WB is like a table of content, because the numbering, I can see the numbering is 1 to 3, 3.1, 3.2, like that.
yes, but it's not table of content.
Yeah, but
Table of,
the sequence is like that.
yes, it's
Oh,
this work breakdown structure is that all the tasks that we will do in this project until we reach the smallest task. And
okay.
again, this will depend on your industry. So I worked in industries when we have um, um, the unit of measurement is 100 working hours, or roughly 1 week, work week. And I worked in industries where we will scheduling tasks uh, as, as small as 30 minutes.
Oh, okay.
So it's not a table of content for your document. It's a structure that will show all the tasks that you are working on. And we will see something. And I might ask one of the teams to share their work breakdown structure, because they sent it to me and it's really, really good. We will talk about um, how flexible your schedule could be. Some tasks that you can start early, some tasks that you can start late, some tasks that might have a slack or flow time, some other tasks that, no, they don't have this. Um, so based on the work breakdown structure, we create what we call the project network. So it's like a flow chart um, that has all the activities of your project. And also it shows the logical sequence, which task before which task. Okay. Also, the dependencies or interdependencies. Maybe one activity is dependent on another activity. So the output of this activity is input to another activity. When we will start an activity, when we will finish it, what is the longest path or path, and we call it critical path. And last time we had some quick discussion. Um, there are some activities that will have a slack time of 0. It means that it has to start on a definite time and it has to end on a definite time. So there is no wiggly room to schedule this activity. Uh, However, this is not the critical path. The critical path is the longest path, and we will talk about these things later. Okay, so This is very important to create the project network, because this visual representation will show you so many um, uh, uh, data and information pieces that you can use later in creating the schedule, even booking your resources, your human resources, even working with your suppliers. So you can even include this in your procurement plan to show the supplier that they have to deliver a certain item at a specific date. Okay, so activities that are critical, it's different than the path that is critical. Okay, so this is a network. So I chose a very simple example. We will make lasagna for dinner. Of course, you will find so many examples using sandwiches, maybe organizing a birthday party, something like this. But I chose this because it's so easy and so simple. So we will start, and we have the noodles or the lasagna sheets, and we have the meat and the sauce. So these are the three main um, uh, activities that we have to do, or cluster of activities actually. These are not the smallest activities. So we will boil the noodles, and it will take 25 minutes. And inside boil the noodles, there might be some other activities. For example, fill the pot with water, bring water to boil, add salt, add oil, then add the noodles, stir the noodles. So without talking too much about the details here, this cluster of activities will take 25 minutes. Browning the meat, it will take 8 minutes. Mixing the cheese, filling, 5 minutes. What comes next? After boiling the noodles, we will drain it. It will take 2 minutes. Browning the meat, then add the red sauce or the tomato sauce, 1 minute. Then, in layering lasagna, we will use the output of all these activities. So we will layer the noodles and the meat and red sauce and the cheese. Then we will bake it for 45 minutes, and we'll come to the end. See these numbers: 0, 25, 25, 27, 27, 39. These are the times. So we will start at minute 0, the three main activities here: the noodles and the meat and the cheese. All will start at minute 0. The noodles will finish in 25 minutes. So I can drain it, and we will drain it from minute 25 to 27. Where did we get the 27? Because it will take 2 minutes. Plus 25, we have 27. Layering the lasagna, it will start at the minute 27. And see that we did not start it at minute 9 or minute 5. Why? Because this activity require the output of 3 other activities. So we have to wait until all the 3 activities finish, and then we start with this activity. So we will start it at 27, minute 27, and we will finish it at minute 39. Where do we get the 39? Because we estimated the duration of this activity to be 12 minutes plus 27, so it will be 39. So we can go to the next activity, baking the lasagna, at minute 39. It will take 45 minutes. So we will end at 84, minute 84. Okay. So this simple example is very good to see why I need a very good work breakdown structure. Of course, in this example, we did not go into a lower levels of the work breakdown structure. Remember, I told you go only until the fifth level. In real life, you might go to the 20th or even the 50th level because these activities are complicated and they require so many steps. Here is another example. We don't need to know what is this project or what's going on, but we will start again from the work breakdown structure. Here, I will add more information. I will add information about which activity comes before another activity. So activity A here, there is nothing before activity A. Then activity B, activity A is before activity B. And then activity C, A comes before C. Until we reach F. F has two activities that come before it, D and E. So we create the network, but here we add also more information. We have information about the duration. Okay, so activity A is 5. It could be 5 days, 5 weeks, 5 months, but you have to unify the unit for all the activities. Okay, so let's say 5 days. So we have here activity A, and it will take 5 days. So what are these squares? What we can add in these squares? See here, 0, 25, 0, 8, 0, 5. So this is the time we will start and then the time we will finish. So we have here S, start, F, finish. Same for drain noodles. S, start 25, F, finish 27. And the difference is the duration of that activity. So after we see a few slides, and we will see also a video, a quick video. We will go back to do this exercise. Okay, so I will divide you into groups, and I want you to do this exercise. So here is more information. So we have here the name of the task, when it will start, when it will finish, with dates, specific dates, and who is responsible for this task. And of course, from this network diagram, we understand which activity will come first before another activity, which activity that requires the input of several activities. We know the order, the precedence, the duration, and we know the start date and the finish date. Here is another way. So we want to take the work packages from the work breakdown structures and build our network, activity network or project network. So we have here the phases, circuit board. So we have 4 phases here, or 4 components. We design, and we have this cluster of activities assigned to a cost account. So we can say which cost account will be used to finance this phase, production, test, software. In the design, we have 2 work packages. We have the specifications and we have the documentation. And see here, we have a unique identifier to every and each work package. And we do all the same for all of these work packages. Then we create our network diagram. Again, we give the identifier. We add more information while we are creating our activity network. So we have several terminologies here. We have the word activity. So this is the element of the project that we are working on. It requires time, but it might not require resources. For example, if we are painting a room and we paint the first layer, so we need to wait until it's totally dried. So this is an activity, actually, waiting for the wall to dry. It's an activity, but it might not require resources. So there is no work is being done here. Some activities, no, we have to specify the resources they need. These activities might require material, might require inputs, information, people to work on, tools, devices. Also, we have parallel activities. So these activities can be done at the same time. So if we go to our example here, boiling the noodles, browning the meat, mixing the cheese, these are all 3 parallel activities because we can start these activities at the same time. We have first activity. So this is the activity that more than one activity following it. So it's more than one dependency arrow flowing from it. So if we go here, okay, let's have another example. So A is a first activity because it has B and C. Here, install hardware, it's a first activity because we have here 2 activities coming from it. Write user guide and convert files. We have merge activity. So it's the opposite of first activity. So which activities here that we have? For example, layering lasagna, because we have several arrows coming to it. So it's a merge activity. And we have paths. So now we have here, we have 3 paths. 1, 2, 3. Start, boil noodles, drain noodles, layer lasagna, bake, end. This is one path. Start, brown the meat, add the sauce, layer lasagna, bake lasagna, end. This is the second path. Then start, mix cheese, layer lasagna, bake lasagna, end. This is the third path. Here, how many paths we have? 2. Here, how many paths we have? 1, then 2, and 3. We have 3 paths here. The critical path is the longest. So for example, here, which one will be the longest? The first one. Start, boil lasagna, drain noodles, layer lasagna, bake, and end. Here, you will calculate this. We don't know. So when you calculate the start and the end, you will determine which is the critical path out of these 2. And the same here. We need to calculate the longest path, so it's the critical path. Okay. So when we create the network, either we add the name of activity on the node or we add it on the arrow. Personally, I prefer activity on node, maybe because this is the way it's been done the first time I was exposed to project management. So here we have these boxes. So these are the nodes. So we have the name of the activity on the node. You might find it in other companies or other literature. The activity is written on top of the arrow. I don't prefer this. I actually prefer it on the node. Okay. So so some some basic rules. So we start left to right. An activity cannot begin until all the activities before it um, um, uh, to be completed. And here is very important: preceding, all preceding. So the output of these activities will be used as an input for this activity. The arrow, any arrow shows the direction of the flow of the work. We have to have a unique identification number. That's why I'm telling you from experience, when you work your work breakdown structure well, it will make your life easier, because you will have these unique numbers. You will understand each activity and all the inputs, all the requirements for this activity. Here in this approach, we don't have looping, but in adaptive environments, we can go and do this looping. What I mean by this? So for example, I cannot drain the noodles and then I discover that the noodles are not well cooked. So I will go back to boiling them. So that's why we have this as predictive approach. So I know exactly what comes first and I don't go back. But in adaptive environments, you can actually go back. For example, if I am coding a feature in a program or a software based on specific information I got. Okay, we don't have anyone waiting. Okay. So while I'm coding this feature, I discovered that I don't have all the requirements. So I can go back to the previous step, maybe collecting requirements, and I will collect the requirements that I am missing. And once I have all the requirements, I can go back to the coding and continue working on code. So I can go back and forth. Okay, so in predictive approach, no, I cannot. For example, if I'm painting a room, I cannot add the second layer of the paint until the first layer fully dries. So that's why we have some industries, they cannot do the adaptive approaches. I had a discussion with a project manager. He's from the software industry, and he said, I cannot understand why do we have these traditional approaches, because some industries actually require this. Okay, so in this approach, looping is not allowed. In adaptive approaches, no, we have this. We can go back and forth between activities and steps because we have this flexibility. The industry have this flexibility. Conditional statements are not allowed, again, because we are in a predictive environment. So we cannot say, I will do this if this happens. No, 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 no. Everything should be laid down in exact way. Okay. When we have multiple starts, a common start node can be used to indicate a clear project beginning of the network. So here we have multiple starts. I can start boiling the noodles at the same time browning the meat, at the same time mixing the cheese. So we have this node that says start. To show that there is a common start for all these activities. And again, also, a single project end node can be used to indicate a clear ending. So, for example, here, maybe I don't need to add this end because already we have one end activity that has all the other activities coming to it. But it's common to use in this flow chart, in flow charts, a point for start and a point for end to indicate that, okay, now we are done. Okay, so I explained this activity on node, some information that you need to understand from the work breakdown structure. What is the activity? What is its unique identifier or number? A description for the activity. What comes before this activity? So it's very important to have this. You are still joining us. So here is, again, it shows the identifier and some description. And here we can calculate few things. We can calculate the early start, for example. How soon can the activity start? So if we go to our lasagna example, so this activity can start at minute 8. But see, the other activity takes 25 minutes. So actually, I can start this in minute 8 or 9 or 10 or 11, and it will not disturb the sequence of activities. Because we have other activity that takes longer time. So I can start here a little bit late or a little bit sooner. So we can calculate this. How soon can the activity finish? We call it early finish. How soon can the project finish? So the time expected. So it's very important, because one scheduler or one planner might say this project might take 6 months. Another scheduler will say, no, actually we can do it in 4. Why? Because we have several parallel activities that we can do at the same time. We can have some activities start early. So when we do calculations, we do 2 passes. One is forward and one is backward. So in the forward, we try to understand the earliest start for each activity. And for the backward pass, we calculate the latest start and the latest finish for each activity. And based on this, we can determine which is the critical path. And also we can understand if I can delay an activity. So we call it slack or float. Okay, so here we have the activities, the description, the preceding activities. This is very important, and also the time, the duration. And we can calculate all of this. And we create this network diagram. And if you will study for the PMP, usually there will be a couple of questions about this that will require you to do some calculations. Usually these calculations are simple calculations that you can do even in your head. So I want to show you this this video, because it actually showed the calculation for what I was saying. So I will stop sharing and I will share the video, and let's watch the video and take a break, and then we will come to continue talking. So okay, so can you see the video now? Okay.
Yeah.
Can you hear it?
No soundlets.
Excuse me?
No sounds?
No sound? Okay.
Yeah, no sounds, Prof.
Okay, how about this? Can you hear it?
Still
No
no
sound,
Still no
sound.
Professor.
sound. No sound.
Okay, this is okay. How can I solve this problem? Okay, I'll tell you what. I will send this in because this is a very good explanation. Okay, I will send the link here, and please watch it. And how long it is? It's 6 minutes, and then I will give you 10 minutes break, and we will meet at 11. Okay?
Okay.
Okay, Prof.
Yes.
Okay.
So I
We
added
shall.
the link Yes, I added the link to the chat. Please watch the video. It's 6 minutes and we will be back at 11. Actually 11:05. So you will have a break as well. So I will see you 11:05. Welcome back. Please join. Omar, we are back. We were in break and we okay, someone wants to join. Okay, so have you seen the video?
Yeah.
Okay, so what do you think? Do you understand him? Was it easy to follow? Okay, yes, I see a thumbs up. So, okay, so what I want you to do now is that for this exercise, we have this network diagram. Okay, it's from your book, and please don't see the answers. Okay. um, So this is for creating an automated warehouse order picking system. We have all these activities. So we have define requirements, assign team, design hardware, code, software, build and test, and all of this. We have here the identifier for the activities, A, B, C, D. We have the description or the name of the activity. And you are given the duration. So activity A will take 10 days, B will take 5 days, C will take 25 days, and so on. So what I want you to do, you will go into groups, and I want you to calculate the early start and the early finish, and the late start and the late finish, and decide which is the critical path. Do you know how you will do it? So for example, for A, we will start from 0. This is the earliest start, day 0. It will take 10 days. So the earliest finish is 10, day 10. So B will start day 10. It will take 5 days. So it will finish day 15, and so on. This is the forward path. We go from left to right. Then you go from right to left, backward. And you do the calculation so you can calculate the latest date this activity can start. Then you calculate the slack. The slack is the latest start minus the earliest start. And these activities that has slack 0 are the critical activities. And the path that has the longest time duration is the critical path. So any question regarding this? Any question? Okay, so I will divide.
On my side.
Excuse me?
Okay.
Okay.
Professor, I mentioned that there is no questions on my side because it
Okay,
was
perfect.
silence. That's why I didn't
Okay.
start in the beginning. But when no one say,
Okay, perfect. So I will divide you to, okay, let's say four break rooms. Okay, let's do it 3. 3 rooms. I will give you 10 minutes. Although 10 minutes is too long, but it's okay. I will give you 10 minutes. and you can calculate this, okay? So I want you to calculate the early start, the early finishes, the late start, the late finishes, the slack, and the critical path. Okay? No, actually, I will give you more than 10 minutes. Now
Where is it, Professor?
excuse me?
Where is it?
I didn't hear this.
Oh, sorry, Professor. What shall we do for the break? Yes, for the group.
In the group, do you see this network diagram on the screen?
Yes, the activity on node network.
Yes, so we have all these activities and you are given the duration for each activity. So I want you to calculate the early start, early finish, and the late start and the late finish, and the slack for each activity. And based on this, you tell me the critical path. And I extended the time to 15 minutes. So start working together so you can give me the critical path, okay? So I will open the room and it will close automatically after 15 minutes.
Yes, I found it. Okay, I will take,
Yes, yes, sir.
because we are trying to join between this screen to get the chart in our group, but we couldn't import the diagram to the group. So I'm trying to take a screenshot, then I'm
Yeah.
trying to put it. I don't know how can we make it.
And also it's in the PowerPoint presentation on Moodle.
Okay.
Yeah.
It seems that is I got out from the group and I need to rejoin again, but I don't know how to rejoin again.
Uh,
I am in number 3.
okay,
I
let
was in
me
number 3.
see.
Yes.
Number 3, okay. I cannot move you. Why? Oh.
Hello, Professor.
Hi. It doesn't allow me to move you. Yes, sir.
Yes. So,
Shall I?
so please,
But if
I want to join the group back. I want to get into the breakout section.
shall I log
Oh,
out from the group here? Then we can maybe I don't know.
no. Wait. I'll try to, because here in my end you are in the group.
Okay.
You are already in the group. It doesn't allow me to move you because you are already in the group. So click, see this triangle and circle. It says activities. Yes, sir. Can you join?
Still not.
Okay.
Trying.
I'll stop presenting. I will share my screen. I will show you. Okay. Can you see here down? Can you see here
Yes.
what says activities? Click activities. Click
Okay.
breakout rooms, and go down to breakout 3 and click join.
Okay.
You are in 3, right?
Okay. Okay.
Can you
Activities.
see join?
Okay. Okay. Just a minute. I found the activity. Then I have polls. Find out other links. Okay. There is polls. There is QA poll in a meeting.
No. You have here breakout rooms. Can you see breakout rooms?
No, it is not appearing my screen.
Hmm.
More phone number, meet, okay, this meeting, okay, people.
Because see here, you are assigned and I cannot move you.
Yes, yes.
So the only thing is if you go down, you will see join here.
Okay, let me try.
Welcome back.
Yes, we are here.
I don't know if you noticed, but I have extended the time a little bit.
Yes, we noticed.
Yeah, so because many of you, okay, where are the rest?
I
Where's
don't know,
every?
but for us it was really too much time, I think.
Oh, okay,
Yes.
okay. So
Actually, I started working on it before we go into groups.
You were so clever. Okay, Ahmed, you can present from us.
yes, so I will start
Okay.
presenting.
Yes, Ahmed, please.
You can see it now?
Yes.
Okay, the Slack is on top. Okay, not in the middle, it's on top. Okay, so the critical bus is ACEH. Okay, and this is how we worked it. Like,
Okay, how did you calculate it? Tell us.
okay, okay. Task A start from 0, and the duration is 10. So accordingly, task B and C can only start with as early start as 10. Let me
Okay.
highlight. Okay. Sorry.
Yes, and
Okay.
B will
So
finish.
for the B, duration is 5. So 10 plus 5 is 15. Okay. And C, 10 the duration is 25. So 35 the duration.
Okay.
Okay. For D, it has to start with 15 and the duration 20. So it will take 35 days to complete.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. While E start with 35 and the duration is 50, so it will take 85 days to complete.
It
Mm-hmm.
will finish on
And yes.
85th day, yes.
And for F, it will also start with 35 and the
Mm-hmm.
duration is 15. So it will take total of 50 days to complete.
Mm-hmm.
G start with 35. Okay. And because D duration is 35. So G
Yep.
will start at 35 plus 35 the duration for G. It will end up with 70.
Yep.
And H can only start at the at the latest task before it. So
Yes.
85
Yes.
plus
Okay.
15, so it will take 100 days.
Okay. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so now we go backwards for the latest start and
Finish.
finish.
Yes.
Okay, from 85. Okay, like G has to finish by 85. Now, Lizette, can you explain this better?
Yes, if 85 it's a latest finish, so latest start is a 50 for G, and because G depends from D, we take 50 from G and 20 days minus it can start from 30th day, and B can start from 25th. So we have here the slack for B, C, G, and F also. because if it takes it can be finished on 85th day, so minus 15 it will be 70. And when we go back, because for E 85 it's his normal finish date, so G, which depends from E and F, with it's almost the same, 35. Yes, 35 minus 25, it's also normal finish date and starting period for C. Therefore A, C, E and H, it's a critical path. And we have here slack, what means it's like a B can be started from day 10 till the day 25. It will not make some trouble for finishing all the project, because it might be started 15 days later. Because it takes only 5 days, it anyway will be finished on time. The same for D, G, and F. They have some gaps to start, and therefore they are not critical.
Okay, thank you so much. So everyone, I don't know where are the rest. We started more than this.
They stuck in the group. Maybe they couldn't join like me. We joined.
No, they left the meeting. I think they left the meeting.
Okay, that
Yeah.
I can show you if you don't mind what we did in very
Yes,
fast,
please,
but
yes.
excuse me of the horrible pictures you will see, because I
Handwriting,
make it handwriting on the uh,
paper.
and no handwriting on the screen,
Oh,
but
yeah, it's
it is
okay.
it is it is okay. Just a minute.
Yes,
I don't
I
know
just want to
if you
make
can
sure
see
that
it.
you understand the calculations.
Okay.
Okay.
Anyway, but you will find the circle. Okay, we reach it to the point. That is, we have a circle around a circle around C, a circle around E, and
Okay.
another circle around H. So
Okay.
we already defined here exactly the critical path, which it is 0.
Yeah.
Okay, 0 and 0.
It's
Okay,
it's the longest. It's the longest path. Usually there
yes,
are some critical activities with slack 0,
yes. So it
but
is 0 here.
yeah.
We'll find 10. If we go to C and C activity, you'll find 10 and 10. So the slack
Mm-hmm,
is 0.
mm-hmm,
If we'll find here in E, you will find 35 and 35. So the slack is 0 also.
mm-hmm. But
So we
my
come to
point here
85.
is
Okay.
the critical path. The critical path is the longest path.
100 days.
Yes,
So
it
you
is.
can it means that you cannot finish this project
Okay.
under 100 days.
Yes. So we find here at the end
Mm.
85 early start, early finish, and 100 late finish. Okay, if we go to H, we'll find 85, the early finish,
No,
No,
and
you are
100
talking about H.
H. Yes,
No, H had the early start is the same as the late start. The early finish is the same as the late finish.
Yes.
okay.
Yeah.
It is
So
because
let me,
H is critical, it will anyway the same figures.
yeah. So
yes,
let
maybe
me
okay,
share the answer.
okay.
Yeah, let me share the answer. Okay, this is the answer, and you will see that all the calculation, like Ahmed and Liazat explained. Uh, so you cannot finish the project before the 100 day, day 100. Yeah. So So in real life, actually, the project management software will do these calculations for you. And as I said, this is in predictive environments. In adaptive environments, you cannot even actually have a definite number for the activity. And actually, when we estimate the time, there is like a game we play where we call it planning poker. So we give all the team members some cards with some numbers, 5, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13. So it has certain values, and each one estimate how long an activity will take. And we discuss why this activity will take that time. In predictive environments, we might have more information that we can say exactly how long an activity will take. So the example is at your in the book, so you can read it. You can do it again. But here we want to excuse me. There is Ahmad. Please mute. Okay,
Sorry.
I muted you. It's okay. Okay. So the most important thing here is to understand the total slack and the slack that you have for each activity. So you understand the wiggly room that you have in this project, and when you can delay the start of a certain activity, or and why we do this is might be beneficial because you can take the resources dedicated to this activity and assign it to another activity, so you may crash the time a little bit for the other activity. So what I want to of course I will leave this for you to read, but for the sake of our assignment, I want to also focus on creating Gantt chart. So Gantt, it's his last name. I don't remember his first name. He's the one who created this way of visual representation. So you can see here, okay, the ID for each task, the duration for each task, the task name, when it will start, when it will finish, the late start, the late finish, and the free slack for this. And here is the last portion of the table is the Gantt chart. So here is a very simple Gantt chart that you can do on Word or Excel sheet. So these are the tasks, and these are maybe days, weeks, months, and you have these bars just to show the duration of each phase or each task. Here is another one, and you can see how these tasks are related to each other. So for example, here the output is the input for this one. We can see that there are certain tasks that we can start and they are not dependent on other tasks, but some tasks are dependent on the precedent. Here is another one, and you can see that these are created by a software. So again, it will show you, and these arrows show what is the input, what is the output, which task that we can start at the same time, which tasks are dependent. So see this ladder? So it means that these are dependent on each other. They go in sequence. So one of the requirements for your assignment is to create a Gantt chart. And again, you can create this Gantt chart based on the work breakdown structure. So the work breakdown structure will be very, very helpful in creating the network, the project network, and it will be very, very helpful in creating your Gantt chart. Okay, so you can read these. It's a very good read. Some terminologies actually will differentiate you from other people, because it will reflect that you really understand project management. We talked about merge activity, we talked about burst activity, we talked about parallel activities, and here we have another terminology, hammock activity. So this activity G is a hammock activity. Why? Because it's suspended between different activities. So while I am doing or working on task G, we can be working on other tasks at the same time. Okay, so these are very good terminology that you need to understand when you think of the schedule of your project. The level of details that you will include in your project management plan, it depends on the industry, it depends on the criticality of the project, the level of detail that you require for this project. Frankly speaking, I haven't seen this much detail in real life, in my experience, except when I was working in real estate development. So we had to create thorough schedules. But for example, when I was working in consulting, no, I didn't need to go that detailed, because there were a lot of slack in the activities. Of course, in other industries, you might need some details. That's why it will be very, very helpful for you if you train yourself using a software, a project management software. And we can talk about what's available now in the market, because we have so many applications and software that can work with certain industries and satisfy certain needs. So any question?
Yes,
I told
Professor.
you, yes.
Am I right that for our group assignment, we don't need critical paths, but we need to this Gantt chart, isn't it?
Yes, yes. So maybe you can add a network diagram if
Yes, and for this diagram, I also have a question. Do we need to show dependence, or we just can use the simple form and to create this Gantt chart?
the network, I think the one you see now is the best representation of the network. So it will give details about the activity, the early start, the early finish, and the slack, and you can highlight the critical path. Okay, now I remember your work breakdown structure. You went to the 5th level That's why you have so much details in your work breakdown structure. So maybe you can do this network diagram only onto the level 2 or 3. Yeah,
Okay.
you don't need to go all the way until level 5, because I know that you have so much detail in your work breakdown structure. However, when you do the Gantt chart, it will be very, very helpful if you do it.
Showing dependence between tasks, isn't it?
Yeah, here see these arrows.
Yes, yes, yes.
So it shows the dependence.
Okay, thank you very
Yeah,
much.
it showed the dependence. Yeah, and of course the network diagram, it showed the dependence because you have the nodes and you have the arrows, so you can see that, okay, this E is dependent on C, F is dependent on C, and so on. Any other question?
Yes, please, doctor. Excuse me. And I have a confusion in one things related to the the solution of the case which we made it in the group.
Mm-hmm.
If we came to the last activity, which is H,
Yes.
okay, we find there is three numbers: 70, 85, and 50. When we need to
What's
select
70? Where is 70?
70 coming
Yeah,
from the activity,
70. Yes, yes, from
85
G,
and 50.
85 from E. Yeah, 50 from F. Yeah.
Yeah. So when we write in the activity H, the early start, we should select 50, not 85.
No, because
Let-
H needs the input from G and E and F.
Okay.
So okay, let's do the easiest example we have here, the lasagna. Okay, so this activity, layer lasagna. Okay,
Okay.
to do this activity, you need the noodles, you need the sauce, the red sauce, and you need the white sauce.
Okay.
If one of these, so if you have the red sauce and you have the cheese, but you don't have the noodle, you cannot layer the lasagna.
Okay.
So you cannot start layering the lasagna at day 9 or minute 9. You cannot layer the lasagna at minute 5. Why? Because there is an ingredient missing or input missing. So you have to wait until you have all the 3 inputs so you can start this.
Okay.
So the earliest start is actually will be the latest, sorry, the earliest finish that you have for these components, these inputs. You
Okay.
have to wait until you have all the inputs. And that's why we call it a merge activity, because you need all these components to merge so you can perform the activity.
Okay. So that's mean the early start from any activity should coming from the most duration if we have three activity will merge in this activity, right?
Yes.
And I take it the longest because I should wait. So it will be considered as an early start
Yep.
for this one
Yep.
by the okay. Okay. Clear now.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
This is the conclusion.
for example, if I want to sit down and study, so what do I need? I need my book, I need my laptop, and I need coffee. Okay, so I brought the book, I brought the laptop, and I went to make the coffee. The coffee will take like 5 minutes. So actually, I cannot start studying before I finish the coffee. Although I have the book and I have the laptop, but there is one input missing. So I have to wait until I have all the inputs so I can start this activity. So if we go to the example in the book, here, H requires G, requires E, and requires F, the three of them. So I cannot start at day 50 because at day 50, E is not finished and G is not finished. Yeah. So try to play with this example a little bit. I will post the presentation so you can have other examples as well. But I think if you do the network diagram like the slide you have in front of you, this is the best way to do the network diagram. And of course, the Gantt chart here. So these are some examples of the Gantt chart. And as I said, you can do it on Word, you can do it on Excel if you are not using a specific application to do this. So any other question?
Professor, I have a question. Can you put?
Yes.
Can you please put back that Gantt chart?
Which
in the
one?
automated speaking system?
This one?
No, the other one. More?
Yeah. This one?
No, the last one, the automated system, speaking system.
Oh, this is the network. Okay, this is the network diagram. These are network diagrams. Okay.
Yes, oh, that one.
Yeah,
that
this
one.
is a network diagram. This is not Gantt chart.
Oh, yeah, that's not
Yeah.
Gantt chart. But I have a question here. Can I not do the D at the same time doing the F?
Can we do B at the same time we do F?
Letter D and F.
D and F. Okay. When I can start D, I can start D earlier as day 15 or late as day 30. So I can postpone working on D until day 30. And F, I can start it in day 35. And I will start also E at day 35. However, for F, I can delay it until day 70 because it has a slack of 35 days. I can wait for F until day 70. And I will finish it. If I delay it, I will finish it at day 85, just the right time for H. So when you do this, when you do the network diagram and you see the latest start and the latest finish, you can assign resources. You can, especially if you have limited resources, you can say, okay, I don't need to start all the activities on the earliest start. I can delay this a little bit. So for example, if the resources assigned to D can be assigned to other activities, I can say, okay, Ahmed is working on D. When you finish in day 50, you can start with F. So I can assign the same resource to different tasks. And when I see these numbers, I can move the resources. So I don't need to have Ahmed assigned to D and Muhammad assigned to F. No, Ahmed can work on D and F. So after he finishes D, because the latest finish is day 50, and he had the skills to work on F, so we can assign him F.
Actually, Ahmed can finish 3 D, E, and F because
Yes,
you say
actually,
create
yes,
a start.
yes.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's just an example to show you the beauty about creating the network diagram, so you can see the big, the big picture, and where you are. Also, when I'm working with suppliers, this is also very important. Suppose that I need an item for a specific activity. So when I'm working with the supplier and I'm negotiating the terms, I can say, okay, I need this item not late than day 30. Why? Because this is the latest start I can start activity D. So if I don't have this item by day 30, I will not be able to start activity D. What else we can? So we can work with resources. We can work with suppliers. Yeah. So this network diagram is really helpful in doing this. On the other hand, Gantt chart is also helpful, and from experience, I find that top management, they can understand the Gantt chart easier than the network diagram. So if you have a Gantt chart like this, you can show the senior management or your sponsor, okay, the duration for this project. We will finish this project in March. We have these stages, we have these assignments. This will start in July and end in January. We cannot start this task, the costing of services, until we finish the plan marketing strategy, for example, because we need some inputs from the marketing strategy, so I can work on the costing and so on. Okay. Okay, for your assignments, a couple of groups sent me their work. I prefer that you send it directly to my email. It will be easier for me to open it from my from my laptop and see and give you some feedback. But the couple of groups that I have seen their work, it's very promising. So thank you so much for the effort, and I will see you next week.
Thank you, Professor. Goodbye.
Thank you. Bye-bye, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Bye.
Professor.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Goodbye.